This meeting is now called
Recording in progress.
to order. She always interrupts me. That does. Anyway, I will call the regular meeting of the Milpitas City Council of November 18th, 2025 to order. While this meeting is being broadcast via Zoom, oral public comment may only be provided live at the City Council meeting in the chambers. The City Council meeting is available for instant translation in 60 languages with Wordly, accessible via mobile phone, computer, and video displays by scanning the QR code located on the upper right-hand corner of the agenda. So back to today's business. City Clerk Guzetta, please take the roll.
Vice Mayor Barbadillo. Councilmember Chua. Here. Councilmember Lamb.
Here.
Councilmember Liane.
Here.
Mayor Montano.
Here. So before we adjourn to closed session, Acting City Attorney Creech, please brief the public on the closed session items for today.
Thank you, Mayor. You have one item on closed session. That is public employee appointment and hiring pursuant to Government Code Section 54957B1. Employee position is City Attorney.
Okay, thank you for that. And so now we will adjourn to closed session.
Sorry, Mayor, we need public comment.
Oh, actually, sorry, public comment.
We have no public speaker cards, Mayor.
Okay, there's no one in the public, so we will go ahead and adjourn. Thank you. Okay, welcome everyone. It is now 7:20, and we will come back to order. So we want the city attorney to go ahead and announce closed session.
Thank you, Mayor. At this time, there's nothing to report out of closed session. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you for that. And so now let's rise for the Pledge of Allegiance, everyone. Is there a council member that would like to lead?
Flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Councilmember Chua, for the Pledge of Allegiance. And we have the invocation that we have every council meeting. Vice Mayor Barbadillo is not here, so I will be doing the invocation. So I will be doing the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. Amen. Thank you. Okay, and now we have presentations. We have Dagupan delegation is here. Welcome. Give them a big old round of applause. A big old shout out to. So I'm going to go to the podium and give out your. Your keys. Come on. Okay. So this is the presentation of the key of the city and the proclamation for Dagupan, Philippines. So good evening, everyone. Tonight we are honored to welcome our sister city delegation from the city of Dagupan in the Philippines. For more than 22 years, our sister city relationship has strengthened cultural understanding, educational exchange, and friendship between the two communities. So before we begin, I would like to share that Dagupan Mayor Belen T. Fernandez is unable to join us this evening. Her travel was delayed due to her leadership in responding to recent storms affecting the region. I'm sure you've seen it in the news. And the meetings this week with the President of the Philippines and national disaster officials regarding local response and recovery efforts. So we are grateful for her commitment to her community, and we look forward to welcoming her later on this week. So this evening, she is represented by Ms. Luz de Guzman. She's the Chief of Staff to the Mayor, who will graciously accept the key to the city on her behalf. We also extend a warm welcome to the members of the Dagupan delegation joining us on this sister city visit. The delegation includes city leaders, education officials, and student exchange visitors. So I have a roster here that I can read their names. I think I have a roster. I don't see one. Is a city clerk, is there a roster here? No roster with the names, okay. That's fine. As I mentioned, I don't have the roster here, but they're right here. Maybe we can, when we can have you come up and say your name, and then we can have, I think that would be the best solution. So let's do that first. Come and say your name, and then you can go back there, and then we will present the key to the city to the, so the first student.
I would like to give a speech and we will introduce ourselves.
Okay, go ahead.
To the Milpitas City Council headed by Honorable City Mayor Carmen Montano, Honorable Vice Mayor Gary Barbadillo, together with the council members Honorable Evelyn Chua, Honorable Hon Lim, and Honorable William Lam. To the city government of Dagupan, headed by Honorable City Mayor Belen T. Fernandez and Honorable Vice Mayor Dean Brian Kua. DepEd Dagupan City SDO, headed by Dr. Rowena C. Banzon, Schools Division Superintendent, with Dr. Lizelle S. Cancino, Education Program Supervisor. Friends, ladies and gentlemen, a blissful evening to everyone. I am Rain Simon Santillan, a grade 9 student from Dagupan City National High School. I am residing in Barangay Lomboy, one of the island barangays of Dagupan. I am the elected Young City Vice Mayor of Manlingcorya Kalangwaran, Batch 2025. With me are my fellow Manlingcorya Kalangwaran student leaders. They will also introduce themselves one by one.
Hi, good evening, everyone. My name is Samina Alexandra Roy, and I am the Young City Legal Officer of MYK Batch 2025. I am 14 years old, an athlete, and a proud student of La Maria Academy. I love developing my skills, both in sports and in school, and I'm always excited to learn and grow. Thank you.
Hi, good evening everyone. I am si Marpal and I am the Young City Chief of Staff of Manlingcorya Kalangwaran 2025. I am 14 years old and I am studying at St. Michael's School by the Sea. And my hobbies are singing and dancing.
Good evening, everyone. It is a pleasure to be behind this podium right in front of all of you. I am Andy Beatrice C. Reyna, and I am one of the young city councilors of our MYK organization, or Manlingcorya Kalangwaran Batch 2025. I am extremely proud to be representing our city and also my school, Mother Goose Special Science High School. Thank you all.
Good evening, everyone. I am Juan Julio Ang, and I am the Young City DILG Officer of Manlingcorya Kalangwaran 2025. I would like to represent St. Albert the Great School. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Clarence Vince Ang Aquino, the Young City Councilor. I would like to represent my school, Mother Goose Special Science High School. I am also 14 years old, and I like playing sports. I'm also an athlete as well as the other members. Thank you.
It is an honor to stand before you tonight on behalf of Manlingcorya Kalangwaran. Today, we celebrate not only sister city relationship between Dagupan and Milpitas, but a shared vision, a commitment to shaping future leaders through understanding, compassion, and global connections. We Manlingcorya Kalangwaran student leaders are here because we embody the spirit of service that defines our city. Manlingkor means to serve, and we, young leaders, remind us that true leadership is not measured in titles or position, but in empathy, humility, and the willingness to lift others. They represent the brightness hopes of Dagupan, youth who lead with purpose, integrity, and heart. This student exchange and cultural exchange program between Milpitas and Dagupan is more than
Recording
an
in
educational
progress.
initiative. It is a bridge uniting cultures, expanding perspectives, and deepening the bonds of friendship between our communities. When we, student leaders, learn from one another, when we share our stories, traditions, and dreams, we help shape a world where understanding prevails over division and where partnership triumphs over distance. MYK also reflects a leadership philosophy we proudly carry, one best exemplified by our beloved city mayor, Honorable Belen T. Fernandez. Mayor Belen has always taught us that leadership means service without boundaries, compassion without conditions, and courage without fear. Her example inspires not only our youth, but all of us who serve Dagupan. She has shown that when leaders invest in education, inclusivity, and global engagement, we're not only developing better students, we are nurturing better citizens of the world. To the Milpitas City Council, thank you for welcoming us with open arms and generous heart, for embracing this partnership, and for sharing with us your culture, your wisdom, and your friendship. You are helping us shape our leadership skills, who will return home carrying lessons that will last a lifetime. To Mayor Belen T. Fernandez of Dagupan City, thank you for this opportunity to be a Manlingkorya Kalanguran and be a part of this cultural exchange program. On behalf of MYK Batch 2025, we look forward to strengthening this partnership, building more bridges, and creating more meaningful exchanges in the year ahead. Thank you very much to all of you. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.
So now, I really love that. Now I think we're all going to have a big old head from all the great comments. You know, thank you so much for the students. I think the students wanted to do a performance. Is that true? Yeah. Okay. Would you like to have them do it now? Okay. Okay, so they're going to do a little performance, and then we're going to give the keys to you. All right. Okay. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? It's up to you guys. Okay. We're going to sit over here while you guys do your thing.
Magkano nga ako? Good evening, everyone. I am Simar Pal. I am the young City Chief of Staff of Manlingkorya Kalangaran 2025. Tonight, we will be dancing Cariñosa. The Cariñosa dance is a Philippine folk dance that means loving or affectionate and depicts a shy courtship between a man and a woman. It originated during the Spanish colonial era and involves a playful hide-and-seek-like interaction to express affection through playful and teasing gestures. I hope you'll enjoy our production number.
Ready? Stop. Ay, driver.
Name, sir.
Sa YouTube sa internet.
Off niyo na ba kami? YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube. Pwede niya. Yeah.
Toys they'll love. Whether
Was someone going to sing? I had someone told me that, or this is it. That's it. No? Okay. Okay. All right. Thank you very much. Let's give them a big round of applause. A big old shout out. You guys did wonderful. I'm so proud of you, all of you. You wonderful, great students. So now we're going to do the presentation of the key to the city and the proclamation. So the city of Milpitas is honored tonight to present the key to the city to Mayor Belen T. Fernandez, accepted by Ms. Luz de Guzman. This key symbolizes a lasting friendship between our cities. There it is. Here it is. So this key symbolizes a lasting friendship between our cities, our shared dedication to peace, prosperity, and cultural connection, and the commitment of both Milpitas and Dagupan to support exchanges that enrich our communities. Ms. de Guzman, Ms. de Guzman, on behalf of the Milpitas City Council and our entire community, actually, let's have the City Council up here. So, on behalf of the Milpitas City Council and our entire community, it is my pleasure to present this key to you in honor of Dagupan's meaningful and enduring partnership with our city. We also have a proclamation recognizing the visit of our sister city partners and reaffirming the importance of our sister city relationship. So we are very, very proud to honor Mayor Fernandez and the city of Dagupan for their 22 years of partnership and goodwill. So to our friends from Dagupan, thank you for honoring us with your visit and strengthening the bonds between our communities. We look forward to many more years of cultural exchange, shared learning, and friendship. So welcome to Milpitas, and thank you for being part of our sister city family. And as I mentioned earlier, I do have a commendation, and then after the commendation, if you would say a few words. So, okay. So, again, on behalf of the city of Milpitas, we give you this proclamation. And I will not read it because it's pretty lengthy, but we're going to give it to you. Thank you. Okay, take pictures. Did you want to say something? Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Maybe you want them to come up here? Yes. Oh. Have the delegation come on up.
Okay, come on. May I request all the Dagupan City delegation to please join me in front? Okay. Good evening, everyone. On behalf of Honorable Mayor Belen Fernandez and the people of Dagupan City, I am deeply honored to receive this symbolic key from the City Mayor of Milpitas City. This meaningful gesture symbolizes the enduring friendship and strong partnership between our two cities. Mayor Fernandez conveys her heartfelt gratitude for this honor and reaffirms Dagupan City's commitment to continued collaboration, mutual support, and shared progress. Thank you for this warm recognition and for the continued goodwill extended to our city. It is a privilege to accept this key in her stead and to represent the people of Dagupan on this special occasion. Maraming salamat po. Please allow me to read the short message prepared for all of you. Honorable Mayor Carmen Montano and the members of the Milpitas City Council, it is with great honor and deep gratitude that I extend warm greetings to you on behalf of Dagupan City, our beloved capital, Bangus capital in the Philippines. Our sister city relationship with Milpitas has always been a source of pride. friendship, and mutual opportunity. A bridge that connects not just two cities, but two communities sharing common hopes and dreams. I believe that our relationship is more than symbolic. It is rooted in a shared vision of inclusive growth, good governance, and sustainable development. In the Gupan, we continue to pursue programs that bring public service closer to our people, improving infrastructure, expanding social services, and safeguarding the environment. We are deeply committed to transparency, accountability, and the respectful stewardship of public funds. We also recognize the importance of economic partnerships as Milpitas continues to thrive as a hub of innovation. We in the Gupans see tremendous potential for collaboration from trade in our local products such as bangus to knowledge exchanges in governance, education, and disaster resilience. Beyond economics, our cities share common values, caring for the vulnerable, lifting up our youth through education, preparing for natural disasters, and preserving our natural environment. In Dagupan, we are implementing bold infrastructure plans to make our city more resilient to flooding, improve our roads and facilities, and ensure the basic services reach every barangay. Furthermore, we recognize the role of our young people in shaping the future. Through our youth leadership and scholarship programs, we aim to build generation grounded in public service, innovation, and community spirit. We would be honored to deepen our engagement with Milpitas through youth exchanges, joint environmental efforts, our city government best practice sharing. As we look ahead, I dream of a future where our sister city bond leads to tangible outcomes, stronger commerce, deeper understanding, shared projects, and a legacy of cooperation. We invite you, dear friends, in Milpitas to walk with us in this journey. Let us continue building bridges, not just of stone and steel, but of goodwill, respect, and common purposes. From Dagupan City, thank you. Mabuhay ang pagkakaibigan ng Dagupan at Milpitas. Thank you very much and good night. Thank you, ma'am. Okay, I will take a picture with all. Okay, you.
You're gonna go over there and make
Owen, come on. Okay.
Do we fit? All right, thank you so much. Did you like it?
This is for wrapping. You're welcome.
This is yours too. So we wanted to, did you recognize the elected officials from your city? Yeah. Okay. So these are the elected officials from the city of Dagupan. If you can, if you want to say their title. Yeah, all we wanted to do was just recognize them. That's your title and yeah, of the elected officials. Oh, okay. Executive assistant. Okay, why don't, yeah. I'm sorry. Well, if you could recognize them, just at least recognize. Oh, there's the mic.
Okay, maybe these are the Dagupan City delegation from the DepEd and from the LGU of Dagupan. I am Luz Flores de Guzman, a former city budget officer of Dagupan and now the chief of staff of the city mayor. Okay, next.
I'm Dr. Rowena Kasugabanson. I'm the City Schools Division Superintendent.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Lisel Cancino, Education Program Supervisor and the one handling the program of Manlingkor na Karangwaran. Thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I'm Mr. Willie Yugieb, and I'm the school principal of the Dagupan City National High School, the largest public high school in Dagupan with around 7,000 students as of the moment.
Hi, good evening, everyone. I am Owen Tan, Executive Assistant of the Mayor of Dagupan City. And thank you for being here, seeing everyone. And thank you again, sorry.
Good evening, everyone. My name is Rose Jade Pal from Dagupan City. I'm as a barangay council. Good evening, thank you.
Good evening, everyone. I am Gary B. Disolok, a school principal of an integrated school, East Central Integrated School in Dagupan. So in integrated school, it's a school where we cater to basic education to elementary, middle school, junior high school, and senior high school. And I'm also one of the lead trainers of the student leaders program in our school, in Dagupan rather, what we call Manlingkor Kalangwaran. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. It is such a great pleasure to having you here. And just to let you know, the audience know that the students, they're exchange students. When they come here, they go to Milpitas High School and they exchange their cultures or language, and they get to see how the American school system is compared to the Philippines. So it's a really beautiful thing. Thank you so much for being here. Big old shout out to the students. Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so now back to the people's business, going back to the agenda. So now let's move on to the public forum. Members of the public are invited to speak on any item that does not appear on today's agenda. Please note that oral public comment may only be provided live here at the City Council chambers. So public forum will be limited to 1 minute since we have a lot of speakers here. And City Clerk?
Yes, thank you. I'm going to read the names in order. I'll ask you to line up in order and then distribute yourselves alternating between the two microphones that are lit up at front. The first person is going to be Alex Lee, followed by Sergio Jimenez, and then Juan Alisantosa.
So welcome, Mr. Sergio Jimenez.
Oh, Mr. Lee was first.
Okay, Mr. Lee. No, welcome, Mr. Lee.
Hey, good evening. Sorry, I was first time. I don't know. Just facing this or facing this?
One at
okay.
a time.
Okay, good evening. So city council members, Let me ask you a question. So would any of you want a cell tower placed outside of your child's bedroom or near your elder parents' house? So I'm here today on behalf of the families who are deeply concerning about Crown Castle's proposed installation in our neighborhoods. So research has linked to long-term impact on the radio frequency radiations with increased risks, including cancer and sleep disruption and other health issues. Impact that especially concerning for the children and seniors.
Thank you very much. It's limited to 1 minute because we have a large crowd.
Okay,
Thank you.
Next, we have Sergio Jimenez, followed by Juan Ali Santosa, and then Teresa Alcantara.
Thank you.
welcome.
Thank you. I'll be very brief. Good evening, Mayor, Council, and City Manager. My name is Sergio Jimenez, and I'm your new Government Affairs Representative for PG&E. I've had a chance to meet some of you, but not all of you. And so tonight is just simply an introduction just to tell you that I'm here, that I'm present, PG&E is present, and moving forward, if you have any issues, emergency issues, outage issues, questions about, things their company's doing, I am your point of contact, and I'll be reaching out to each and every one of you after this meeting, maybe tomorrow, send an email. Hopefully we can meet for coffee, I can learn about your priorities, and I want you to know that you always have an accessible sort of person from PG&E to answer any questions you may have. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. And just to let you know, I have been getting some emails, and I really appreciate those emails to alert us of what's going on with PG&E. Thank you.
Next, we have Juan Ali Santosa, followed by Teresa Alcantara, and then Kevin Sandu.
Welcome.
All right, thank you. Good evening. So regarding the 5G wireless multi-device, although the city of Milpitas unable to prohibit them, they can be properly regulated and still be in compliance with federal law or federal mandate. As we know by now, other jurisdictions such as San Mateo County and Sinitas, they have ordinance, okay? So Milpitas used to have Telecommunication Commission, and I used to be a member. It is now called Science and Technology Commission, if I'm not mistaken. And I believe this commission can be delegated to create it and get approval from City Council. So it's not totally like open checkbook, and they can install anything they want because other city, they regulate it and still in compliance with the federal mandate, okay? So with me, people from my neighborhood, raise your hand, please. Thank you. So please give it a consideration. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Teresa Alcantara, followed by, next we have Kevin Sandu, followed by Govinda Karam, and then Andres Mino.
Welcome.
Hello. My name is Kevin Sandu, owner of SBC Liquors number 7, located at 148 West Calaveras Boulevard. I'm here providing the statement for the Planning Commission meeting tomorrow. In the city agenda, there's a 76 gas station right in front of us that's trying to get a liquor, beer, wine license. And they're saying that there's no other stores in the area with any of these licenses, but there's us, there's Walgreens, there's Bob's, there's Lucky Liquors, there's Smart and Finals, there's a bunch of stores. So it's going to be a saturation of all these stores out with already licenses. They're only 30 feet away from our property line. So it wouldn't make sense for them to get another license. They have 12 to 15 employees. They're big, big corporation. We're a small store. There's one employee for us, right? So giving them a license would make us basically shut our business. It would be horrible for us.
Thank you.
Next, we have Govinda Karambudi, followed by Andres, and then Laredo Cuvedo Dimendal.
Welcome.
Hi, good evening. This is the first time I've been here. I'm a resident at on Incline Court where they're going to install the cell tower. And I just want to voice my objection to that. We're 3 elderly people living in the house and 24/7.
Can you put the mic closer to you? Okay. There you go.
Yeah, we're 3 people in the house and we're there all the time. And since we don't know what the risks are of 24/7 radio frequency, bombardment, we need to be safe. And if we can provide some distance from the cell tower, that might be a reasonable solution instead of having it so close to the homes. Thank you for listening.
Thank you. Thank you for your comments.
Next, we have Andres, followed by Laredo Quevedo de Bandal, then Kavi.
Welcome.
Mayor Montano and respected Milpitas council members, my name is Andres. Together with my family, my wife, my 2 children, young children, I have lived in Milpitas for 2 years now. I love my neighborhood. I love my neighborhood, my neighbors, and especially when we can come together on something we all agree on. With respect to the deployment of the small cell transmitters by Crown Council, I am disappointed in this council's rolling over for the private interest of a company that's not a member of this community. The transmitter mounted on the light post 3 houses down from my own is just 30 feet from where our child sleeps every night. Why was there no environmental impact study conducted? How can you just rubber stamp this permit without asking the affected residents? How is it right to have been notified only by the installers in just a mere 3 weeks before the installation? I implore you to reverse course, regulate these installations to be farther away from residents and bedrooms. There is already precedence to do this in California municipalities. You should represent us and not Crown Council. Do the right thing.
Thank you very much. So just to be clear, my understanding was that there was a meeting, and if there's any more follow-up, any more questions, I want you to meet with our assistant city manager. He's here somewhere. There he is. Okay, thank you.
Next, we have Laredo, followed by Kavi, and then Nikunj.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Loreto Quevedo de Mandal, founder of Loreto Cuties Brigade, Silicon Valley, that has been helping the unhoused and underprivileged families, not just in Milpitas, but all over the Santa Clara County, as well as outside the U.S. So I'd like to ask a consideration for the unhoused, as well as Hope for the Unhoused and our partner organizations that help and serve at the Sunday showers. There's been information that it's going to be moved to the Milpitas pantry area on November 30th. We're very busy, especially with the holidays. We get a lot of donations. So I was wondering if we could talk with the other stakeholders so that we can work on this in a good cooperative manner. So please consider moving this discussion in early 2026, because the holidays, we get a lot of donations. Thank you.
Thank you. And we do have a meeting scheduled for this week. Thank you.
Next, we have Kavi, followed by Nikunj, followed by Hillary Davidson.
Welcome.
Hello, good evening, Mayor and the rest of the council members. Thank you for the opportunity to talk. I am here again about the small cell tower because we had a webinar meeting. We are not happy with the outcome. And also, like San Mateo County had placed a special ordinance and moved the things away from the house, like a 30, 40 feet away from the house. And this you can always place the ordinance and move it to the at least 150 feet away from the house. People are constantly being exposed to it, and also the radio frequencies and the electromagnifying things are coming through. You don't know the impact of it. Environmental study, I requested with you, Mayor, did you ask this thing to provide one? We need to do it. Before you start anything, you need to have the input from the residents. You have not done that. Just given the rubber steel thing to the council, thing like that, not okay. Take action and do the right thing for the citizens.
Right. That's why you're here, to voice your concerns. Thank you.
Next, we have Nikunj, followed by Hillary, and then Preeti.
Welcome.
Good evening, respected Mayor and City Council members. My name is Nikunj Vaidya. I'm here to voice my opinion against installing the small cell tower in our residential areas. I'm mainly concerned of the long-term health impact of the constant, and that's the word that I want to kind of use. We use Wi-Fi, we use many phones, and in our home we have microwave ovens, but we don't have constant radiation going through us. And this is going to cause a constant radiation of close range RF exposure. FCC and WHO guidelines has been quoted by the installer. Those are based upon 2G, 3G qualification done in 1996. It has not been substantially revised based on 5G. 5G is basically about high speeds, which means high frequency but lesser distance. So more number of antennas needs to be put in for more coverage. 6G is going to amplify that, and it's going to create more cells. So I want to request, please consider this.
Thank you. And again, Matt Kano, he will be. You can connect with him later because he'll be speaking on this. Thank you. Welcome.
Next, we have Hillary, followed by Preeti, and then Manoj.
Welcome.
Good evening, Mayor Montano and City Council. My name is Hillary Davidson, and I'm a volunteer with Hope for the Unhoused. I'd like to tell you about our upcoming winter clothing drive. This is a donation drive for gently used or new winter essentials for unhoused residents. The donation drive is held on Saturday, November 29th at Milpitas High School from 9 a.m. to 12 noon. We are accepting scarves, gloves, coats, hoodies, beanies, socks, sleeping bags, and tents, all adult sizes. The donation drive takes place the day after Black Friday, so while you're shopping for Christmas presents, you can purchase some items for the winter drive. I'd like to remind everyone that most Christmas presents go unused or are unwanted. This is a way to directly impact someone who needs it. I would really appreciate if you could share our flyer on your city social media pages, and I can email a copy to you. And for everyone here, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Preeti, followed by Manoj, then Voltaire Montemayor.
Good evening, respected mayor and the council members.
Welcome.
My name is Priti. I've been a Milpitas resident for past 33 years and love our city. I live on Skyline Drive, and I'm here to talk about the cell towers. First, it was shocking to hear that this is taking place because communication was very poor. And I work in healthcare. It is definitely a health hazard. And if it is put in front of somebody's bedroom window, that is truly not acceptable. And I'm sure this council cares for the resident and their health. We have elderly population living. We have, children there. I would like to request the council. We do have a park there, and we can move the location. We can increase the height, and that will definitely help out. I understand that it is very difficult to,
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Next, we have Manoj, and then Voltaire.
Welcome.
Thank you. My name is Manoj Lodavia, and I've lived in Milpitas for the last 33 years, raised my children here, plan to die. So this is definitely, I would like to live rest of my life in a healthy manner. The cell tower, the way it is situated currently, does not really feel very safe. And even though it may not be in my backyard today, but I want all of us to think that tomorrow it could be in anybody's backyard, and it could really hurt anyone. So it's really important that the city actually looks at it. Other cities' examples have been given that have passed ordinances where they have kept distance, they have increased heights. I'm very happy that we prayed to God this earlier in this session, and I'm hoping that with you guys are here with God's grace and the voters. So please listen to us. Please listen to the rest of the residents and help us.
Thank you.
And then we have Voltaire.
Voltaire Montemayor of Milpitas, and also from Pangasinan, near Dagupan. Balonga, Pangasinan. Anyway, very nice dancing. All these introductions to the public officials and school faculties in Dagupan. Um, yeah, Milpitas is not a big city, but we have we love sports. I love going to play bowling, playing chess, and singing and dancing a little bit. So in a way, the weather is affecting some travelers. So also we bear in mind that we have to be careful for everyday driving. And thank you.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
I have no additional public speaker cards, Mayor.
Okay, thank you. Is there anyone else from the public that would like to make any comments? Please come on up, sir.
You know, I'm here with all the neighbors from the Glenview area, and I was really surprised to learn from all the noise outside of my window that a cell tower was going to be installed. You know, I'm not a medical expert. I don't know much about technology. I love the internet, and I love when my phone works. But I did study communication and politics, and it's shocking to me that as my representative, you guys did not inform me about that. I did vote for you guys, so I do hope that you take this issue seriously, okay? Because this is very important to us. And I just do hope that as politicians, you guys do your job and keep your community informed and take us into account. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. And I just want to mention that when we heard about this, we all had questions. And I know I can't talk about it because it's not in the agenda, but what I would like to ask the city manager, if we can have a forum in the future so that we can have the experts talk to the audience and all of us there. Can that be a possibility? That's where we can get all the facts and we can at least have some transparency.
My question would be, would you like that before the end of the year? We can schedule a special meeting if needed.
Yes, we would like that. No, we were all concerned, so
Okay.
thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, thank you very much. We're going to be moving. Thank you for coming out. This is what democracy is all about. Thank you very much. So now moving on to the announcements of conflict of interest and campaign contributions, we have Acting City Attorney Creech. Wait, we can't. It's protocol. But you can ask us, Matt Kano. Where's he at? Matt. All right, but we can't. It's city attorney.
Thank you, Mayor, for the conflict of interest. I asked the mayor and every other member of the Milpitas City Council whether he or she has any financial or personal conflict of interest related to any of the items on tonight's agenda.
Councilmember Chua.
None.
Councilmember Lamb.
None.
Councilmember Leanne.
None.
Mayor Montano.
None.
Thank you. I further asked the mayor and every other member of the Milpitas City Council to please disclose any campaign contributions of $100 or more received within the last 12 months from any of the parties entering into contracts with the city on tonight's agenda, or contributions received with any development project applicant for development projects on tonight's agenda.
Councilmember Chua.
None.
Councilmember Lamb.
None.
Councilmember Leanne.
None.
Mayor Montano.
None.
Thank you. Let the record reflect no reported conflict. Thank you very much, Mayor.
Thank you. And so now moving on to the reading of the Code of Conduct. Is there any of my colleagues who would like to read that? We'll have Councilmember Chua.
Thank you, Mayor. Milpitas City Council Code of Conduct. Be respectful and courteous.
model civility, avoid surprises, praise publicly and criticize privately. Focus on the issue, not the person. Use electronic devices appropriately while on the council dais. Disclose conflicts of interest and affiliation related to the agenda items. Separate governing from campaigning. The council speaks with one voice after making policies on issues. Respect the line between policy and administration. Council will hold one another accountable to comply with this code of conduct. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you very much for that. And so now, moving on to the approval of the agenda. Is there anyone that would like to make any changes? Okay, seeing that, we'll call for a motion, and we
Mayor, this is the
have
agenda.
Councilmember Chua.
I would like to pull approval of the agenda or consent?
This is approval of the agenda.
Agenda. Agenda. Yeah.
So it was, we have Councilmember Lin, who made the motion to approve the agenda.
I'll second with the removal of or rescheduling item number 11.
But, okay, so we have Councilmember Lin had made the motion, and we have a second by Councilmember Chua, and then to reschedule.
Sorry.
Reschedule item 11.
Reschedule item 11.
So Councilmember Chu is requesting an amendment to the motion.
I'm
If-
requesting an amendment. I seconded the motion with an amendment.
You
to-
can't second it until the amendment has been accepted by Councilmember Lian or rejected. So
Okay.
Councilmember Lian, do you want to accept or reject the amendment?
I see Director Lee is here, so
Yes.
let's have him reject.
Okay, so then there is a motion pending by Councilmember Lian, but it doesn't have a second yet.
Okay, so
Seeing none.
it died. Go ahead, do you have now Councilmember Chua?
I'd like to approve the agenda with the rescheduling of item 11. It's been brought to our attention that there are changes that's going to happen the beginning of 2026. And we want to see the changes before we make this, before we even discuss this one. That's the reason.
Is there a second? Councilmember Lamb?
Yeah, I can second that.
Okay, so it's a move by Councilmember Chua and seconded by Councilmember Lamb. And now let's call for the vote.
Councilmember Chua.
Aye.
Councilmember Lamb.
Aye.
Councilmember Lian.
Aye.
Mayor Montano.
Aye. Okay, so now we're moving on to the consent calendar. Staff, do you have any comments, changes for the consent calendar? No, I see none. Okay, so we have the city council. Do you have any? And I need a motion in a second.
We need to take public comment, Mayor.
Public comment?
Yes, I have a public speaker card.
Anybody?
I have a public speaker card from Martin Serber.
Welcome.
Hi, my name is Marvin Serber. I spoke 2 weeks ago about applying for an arts and cultural grant for the Milpitas menorah lighting. Today is the day of the voting. I would like to encourage you all to vote yes on the menorah lighting grant because it is important to learn about other people's cultures. At this free community event, there will be food, Hanukkah-themed games, crafts, and more. It's a fun way to teach the community what a menorah lighting is all about. The Arts Commission has already voted to pass my grant to you all. Please.
Recording in progress.
I would like to encourage you all to vote yes. Thank you.
Thank you for that. Okay. Anyone else that would like to make any comments on
I
that?
have no additional public speaker cards, Mayor.
Recording in progress.
Okay, there's no, seeing anybody in the public? No? Okay, so now we'll close that public and then we'll move on to the motion and a second.
Motion to approve the consent items.
So we have a motion from Councilmember Lin, and we have a second by
I second.
Councilmember Chua. So let's call for the vote.
Councilmember Chua,
Aye.
Councilmember Lamb,
Aye.
Councilmember Lien,
Aye.
Mayor Montano.
Aye. Okay, so now moving on, we've already deferred Community Development item 11, so now we're moving on to Community Services and Sustainable Infrastructure, item 12.
The item is to receive a presentation on considering an increase to Milpitas Assistance Program Water Utilities Bill Subsidy amount. And we have our director who's going to be providing a presentation.
Right.
Ms. Lorenzen?
Thank you. Good evening, Mayor and City Council. I'm here to report out on the MAP water utility subsidy increases, and I'll ask for the PowerPoint to please. As if by magic, there it is. You can move on to the next slide. Next slide, please. We're going to go over the agenda tonight just really fast as they move on to the next slide. We're going to go over the background of the item with you all, the MAP water utility bill participant demographics, MAP tiers and subsidies, the...
Mayor, before we go on, I believe we're having some Zoom connectivity issues.
Okay.
And so the sharing of the Zoom is crashing. So the presentation isn't able to be shared via Zoom right now. I will wait for our IT director to follow up.
All right.
You guys like to take a break, maybe a 5-minute break?
We share via Zoom, and Zoom is crashing.
So we were planning, yeah. So we're planning on taking a 5-minute break until, or sooner, as soon as you let us know when it's fixed. Okay, thank you. Not a re-adjourning. We're reconvening. Thank you.
We're back.
Reconvening. I like it too. Okay, so where we left off.
All right, we left off at next slide. All right. So we are here to talk about MAP water utilities. Just real quick, we're going to go over background on the request and the program, the participant demographics, current MAP tiers and subsidy levels, the water utility bill source funding, policy design goals and considerations for tonight, some subsidy increase scenarios, and then the most important bullet there is City Council feedback from you all tonight as to what you would like us to return with at a future meeting. Next slide. So a little bit of background. In 2019, City Council established the Milpitas Assistance Program, or MAP. It replaced and enhanced a previous program called RAP with fewer subsidy programs. MAP is a city-run program, and it's designed to provide residents with discount and fee waivers on city-run services like discounts on their water and sewer utility bills, recreation and community services programs. And it also qualifies residents for the Residential Building Incentive Program, which is a waiver or reduction of residential permit fees on replacing your water heater, AC, or solar. During the fiscal year 25-26 budget process, the City Council requested that we prepare information on options for increasing the water utility bill subsidy amount and what that would require in increased expenditures. Next slide, please. So who are our participant demographics? On a daily average, we have 400 households that participate in the larger MAP program. Based on a 3-year average, 205 households are receiving MAP utility bill subsidies annually. There are currently 236 households receiving water utility bill subsidies as of today. The number does fluctuate. The enrollment for MAP is ongoing, and so the number can fluctuate from day to day depending on when people's subsidies expire and they need to reapply. Currently, for MAP participants using the water utility bill subsidy, they receive a flat rate of $22.52 on their bi-monthly bills. The below table that right there on your screen provides a summary of an average bill before and after the subsidy. So of all the 205 households, the average bill amount, which is bi-monthly, is $288.27, which is about $1,729 a year. With the current subsidy of $22.52, the average bi-monthly bill amount is $265.75. Just want to point out that the water utility bill does include fixed fees like the water meter fee. The average of the water meter fee for MAP recipients is $44, and the average sewer connection fee is $137. That's an average. There is a difference in meter fees. For example, if you have a 5/8 meter or you have a 3/4 inch meter, the fee is a little bit different, but those are the averages. 72% of a bill is typically the fixed meter and connection fees. Anything above that is the water consumption costs. So
I'd like to wait till she finishes her presentation to ask questions, if you don't mind. It's okay?
So the average MAP
Oh,
customer.
but be sure to jot down the slide number so you won't forget.
Slide 4. Yeah. Okay. So the average MAP customer water utility bill is reduced by about 7.8% with the current flat subsidy rate of $22.52. Next slide. This table shows the average tier allocation for MAP. We wanted to pull some point-in-time data for you all about who are the households and who's living in them that are receiving the discounts. So this is a data point from fiscal year 24-25, close to the end of the fiscal year in May, where we had 200 residents receiving water utility subsidies. Again, remember, the number does fluctuate based on that point in time and who is currently enrolled. So we're going to look at the household age category. We have under 65, 65 to 74, and 75 plus. Those are the ages of the people in the household. So of those 200 resident households, 85 of them, or 42.5%, have people living in the house that are 64 years old or younger. 55 of those 200 households has people in the household that are 65 to 74 years of age, and then 60 of the 200 households, or 30% of the overall MAP water utility bill users, is 75 years or more. What's interesting here is the number of Tier 1 households versus Tier 2 and Tier 3. 92% of the households that we help are Tier 1, which is very low to low income households in Milpitas. And over half of the MAP households include at least one resident age 65 or older. So they have a senior living in the home. Next slide. So this is a overview of our current MAP tiers and the subsidy levels that they receive. We're going to focus on the top two. The one that's in light green is the water utility bills. If you're Tier 1, which is very low income, you get the flat rate of $22.52. The same is for Tier 2, which is our low income tier. Tier 3 is temporary hardship. That's if you have a medical condition that was unexpected, you've lost a job, your household situation has changed, and your household income level has significantly lowered. You're in temporary hardship Tier 3. They don't receive a subsidy, but they do receive a payment plan. The second one is our recreation programs. These are on tiered subsidies. So if you're a Tier 1, you receive 75% discounts on rec programs up to $1,000 per household. If you're Tier 2, you receive up to 50% of a discount on recreation programs for a max of $750 per year. And for Tier 3, you receive a 75% discount with a max of $750 per household. I'm going to take you down to the bottom of the chart there on the eligibility period. So for Tier 1 and Tier 2, you're eligible for MAP discounts from 1 year from your approval. Temporary hardships, which is Tier 3, they can renew every 6 months and up to twice a year. So that's a little bit why that number fluctuates a little bit from day to day or week to week. Next slide. So the source of funds for the MAP water utility subsidies. So there is a fund, we call it Fund 109. It was created for water utility late payment fees. We're estimating the annual revenues are $321,500 per year. The current fund reserve is $909,751. With the rate of people using the MAP subsidy right now, we estimate that the costs to the program costs and the cost to the fund this year are $31,888. With this fund, we do have some strategy. There's a bit of corrective action. We are going to and are working on assigning administrative costs for supporting MAP to relieve the general fund by about $40,000. That's the staff that administers the program. They qualify people, they assign letters, they qualify, requalify, and review their paperwork. We also are going to look at absorbing related general fund costs as additional general fund burdens are evaluated through our budget strategies. The other thing for this fund is the MAP program. So if there's any increase in subsidies with any action tonight from the council or future meetings, those revenues that we bring in, the $321,500, that will need to be the fund that we use to cover those subsidy increases. So we are looking tonight and are recommending the council think about a tiered approach to the subsidy increases, which will help with the fund's long-term sustainability. It also makes sure that rather than a flat rate, we're addressing the needs of the residents versus just flat rate. Next slide, please. So as we go along for the next few slides, if there is a subsidy increase, there are a few assumptions that can be made. One is that if there's more money off on a water bill that's needed in the household, that the number of participants may increase. With that, the level of subsidy may want to be increased, the number of people, and where are the thresholds that the council wants us to consider bringing back a program design for. So if there's an increase of participants, by how many does the council want to go up? Do you want a flat rate or a tiered rate subsidy program? And how much do you want to increase the subsidy by? So just keep those three things in mind as we think about designing or redesigning the program and the policy. Next slide, please. Along with that, some policy considerations. We could get to the end of the night and you want to maintain the existing flat rate subsidy amount and leave it the way it is. Could, as we make policy, discuss the new policies, implement a moderate increase to the flat rate subsidy amount, or implement a moderate increase through a tiered or incremental subsidy, similar to the other MAP services that we showed on a previous slide. Next slide. So we're going to run through some scenarios based on the annual average and then some assumed increases, just to give you an idea of how much increases to the subsidy would cost the city. So if you see the subsidy increase percent, the bi-monthly subsidy, and the annual cost, focus on those three. The first line is 0%, and it reflects the current bi-monthly subsidy amount of $22.52. At the 3-year average of 205 households, it's a little over $27,000 at $27,699.60. If you increase that flat rate subsidy by 100%, you're looking at $45.04 off every bi-monthly bill, which would cost the city $55,399. That would be an increase of $27,699.60 to the fund. So each line increases the subsidy by 100%. So if you do 200 or 300 or 400, for example, you get down to the bottom line, you have a bi-monthly subsidy of $112. That would cost $138,498, which would be a subsidy increase total amount of $110,798. So that's one scenario for a flat rate subsidy increase. Next slide. Like I mentioned before, an increase in the subsidy level will most likely attract more households that need subsidy, that think the subsidy amount might be worth putting in an application for. So this table represents an increase of 10% in the average households that are going to be on the subsidy, which is 225 households. So the table is the same. The first line assumes a 0% subsidy increase for the flat $22.52 subsidy every other month. That's $30,402. If you increase that subsidy amount by 100%, which is $4,504, you get an annual cost of $60,804. If you go down to 300%, which is $90 off each bi-monthly bill, we're looking at $121,608. And so on to the last one, which is 400, you're looking at a total increase of $124,310 from where we're at with the current bi-monthly subsidy amount. Next slide. Last one on the flat rate. So as I mentioned before, right now we have 236 households participating. So what does that mean for today's bi-monthly subsidy rate of $22.52? So if you do 236 households, that's where we get the $31,888 amount, which we think we're going to expend this year. If you double that to $45.04 per bill, that's $63,776, and so on to 200%, 300%, and 400%. Let's stop at the 200% mark, where we're tripling the subsidy amount at $67.56. That would cost $95,664 in subsidies. Next slide. Now we're going to go to the tiered rate. So this one, we're going to start with 225 households, which would be the 10% increase from where our running 3-year average is at. This makes some assumptions. On a previous slide, I mentioned 92% of our MAP households are Tier 1. So we took that 92% and did an example of how many Tier 1 households would be receiving up to 75% subsidy, and the Tier 2 households that would receive a 50% subsidy, which mirrors how we do the other MAP program services. So if we take 225 households, 207 of them would most likely be Tier 1, which would receive $90 off every bill. Tier 2 would be 18 households. They would receive 50% off their bill for a total of $119,016 for the year. If we increase the subsidy amount by 400%, and our Tier 1 households received $112 off their bill, and Tier 2 households received $90 off their bill, the total subsidy amount would be $148,824. Next slide. We're doing today's numbers in this scenario for tiered rate. So at 236 households, 92% of those households being Tier 1, we're looking at 217 households that would receive up to 75% or $90 per bill as an example. That would be $117,180 in subsidy. The Tier 2 would be 19 households, which at $67 off per bill would be $7,638 for a total of $124,000. If you bump that up to 400%, you're looking at $156,084 in subsidy increases. Next slide. And if we see increases off this year's amount, which is 236, more than the 3-year annual average, but we wanted to run those numbers. If we did a 300% subsidy increase, which is $90 per bill and $67 per bill at a Tier 1 and 2-tier household, that would be an increase of $137,502 per year in subsidies. And if we went up to a scenario where Tier 1 received up to $112 off on their bill and Tier 2 households received up to $90 off on their bill, the total subsidy amount would be $171,948. So that's not meant to just throw a bunch of numbers at you, but the scenarios, fluctuate on how many people are participating, how much the subsidy is, and then the cost that comes with that. The number, or the amount rather, of the administrative costs of $40,000 for the staff to administer the program would be on top of this number. Next slide. So we're going to go back to when we talk about the policy development and questions we want to ask ourselves, increase in participants. So we showed a couple of scenarios where we used the 205 three-year running average, today's numbers at 236, and numbers where you see a 10% increase or a 10% increase on today's numbers. And all the numbers have crashed Zoom again. So we'll give just a minute. What's that? Well, actually, we could just go through the discussion questions without this slide. We don't want to hold it up. So with all that, that's a lot of numbers and a lot of numbers of households that might want to participate in the program. But what we're looking for, oh great, next slide to slide 17. The questions that we really do want the City Council to help us with tonight, as soon as they get to the next slide, is would the City Council like us to return with a formal update to the MAP program and increase that water utility bill subsidy for you all to approve as a group? If so, which subsidy type would City Council like staff to include in the program update? Would you like to maintain the flat rate subsidy, or do you want us to look at a tier level subsidy or need-based program rate? What participation increase levels would the City Council like to consider? Do you want to make the program available for up to 250 households, or cap it at the 236 that's today, or 240? Where do you feel comfortable at? And would the city like us to return with a program proposal with a balanced approach so that the fund use of subsidy increase and other purposes are able to sustain infrastructure improvements along with the subsidies or on a long-term basis? So I'm going to stop there.
Thank you for that presentation. Since Councilmember Lamb was the one that brought this,
yes,
I'm going to ask you to ask the questions. What would you like to see?
Yes. Before I make comments, I just want to clarify a few things. Go back to slide number 4. I just want to make sure I'm not reading it wrong. Okay. Now, for the average shore connections 137, is there a higher and lower? Why does a average? Isn't all the shore the same? Or is it the newer shore cost more?
So the single family rate for a single family home rate for sewer is $138.93. For a multifamily home, it's $105.96. There are some duplexes or fourplexes that are individually metered, and so their rate is a little bit lower. The rate for mobile home parks is $98.20. Typically, the mobile homes aren't individually metered, but that is the charge that the park pays per space, and they usually pay that fee through their space fee or an HOA fee, similar to that.
I see. Okay, I understand. And then go forward a couple slides. Yes. I just want to make sure I'm reading this right. On tier 3, second row, why is it 75% discount versus on the tier 2 is 50%?
Yeah. the person experiencing the hardship, usually it's sharp and it's quick, and they find themselves in that tier 1. Most of our MAP households are tier 1,
Right.
over 90%. And so they do get, it's for 6 months only and not a year. So they receive the 75% discount, and it's up to $750 per household. So they do get more of a discount on classes and programs in the short term, but the amount of subsidy that they receive over a year is maxed out and similar to tier 2 at the low income rate. So it's a balance of the two.
So you're saying this is temporary. Because of that, you give the tier 3 a higher discount.
Off the initial program costs, but their annual max is $750.
Which
So
is the same as tier 2.
Correct. So it's a little somewhere in the middle between the two.
Interesting. Okay. I don't understand that logic, but
Because it's temporary.
yeah.
It's temporary, and
Yeah.
so they're not. They're not even sure exactly how long. It could be a sharp decline right at the beginning, and then levels off. If it's a medical issue, it's they're rehabilitated. If it's a loss of a job and they receive new employment, so it's addressing the immediate need that was unexpected first and foremost at the 75%. And because they're limited to 6 months and no more than twice in a year, they're still limited to the $750 as if they were a low income. So that's why it's a little bit in the middle.
Okay. And then, okay, instead of questioning so much, why don't I make a statement? Well, I'd like to remind everyone that this program helps to protect low-income families from overburden by water bills. This program provides critical support for low-income residents and seniors who are the most vulnerable and at risk of becoming homeless. So with that said, I have a proposal, and I move on my proposal that
Councilmember Lamb, if I may, maybe before we start taking proposals or motions, we do public comment.
okay.
Public comment is open. Yeah, welcome, Mr. Montemayor.
Thank you. At least the way I see it, it's not really negligible, but the city could afford of the subsidy bills. It's just how much we could afford. I think you're deciding on how much we could, how much more we could allow. But I think it's covered. It will be covered by spare the finance department. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Anyone else? Okay. Go ahead, proceed.
Okay, thank you, Mayor. So I'd like to make a proposal. I call this a 50-30-20 plan. What that means is tier 1, I would take 50% off the meter fee, 50% off the sewer fee, and $50 off the water water expense.
So that's 150?
That's about 100 for a single family house. It will be $139.82. For tier 2, I would propose a 30% meter discount, 30% off sewer, and $30 off the water. that's about $83.89. And for tier 3, I propose a 20% off meter, 20% off sewer, and $20 off water. And that's $55.93 for a single family. Yeah, every 2 months. Yeah. And I kind of use the city number as calculation, and based on that 205 people calculation, I come up with about 165,000 a year. And if I take the current number of MAP participants, it's only 1.6% of the populations. It's very small, 1.6%.
Can you repeat those numbers again for tier 1, 2, and 3?
Yeah. Tier 1, 50% off meter, 50% off sewer, and $50 off water.
What would be the total?
And tier 2, 30% off.
Can you tell me what the total would be?
Yeah, that would be $139.82.
And then tier 2?
Tier 2, 30% off meter, 30% off sewer, and $30 off water. That is $83.89. And tier 3, 20% off meter, 20% off sewer, and $20 off water. And that comes up to be $55.93 for single family. That's the high end. And then according to the staff, the other sewer and meter fee are lower.
Okay. Sorry. Okay. I have a couple of questions. I can open it up. Are you done with your?
Yes.
So I know tier 1 means very low income. Tier 2 is low income, and tier 3 is temporary hardship. So what are the how do you what do you base that on?
So we use the HUD guidelines for Santa Clara County. So families that fall into very low or extremely low, which is 50% and 30% of the AMI, they are at tier 1. Tier 2 is low income, where they're at 80% of the AMI. So for example, very low income, a family of 4 can make no more than $100,450, $50,000 per year for very low. Extremely low would be $60,250. And for low income tier 2, for example, a family of 4 could make no more than $159,550 per year. That number changes each year. HUD typically updates those rates or income limits in the spring, April, typically. So we update our MAP levels and tiers to match the HUD so that we're consistent.
Okay. Thank you. So, and you're basing it on a family of 4.
That's an example with a family of 4. HUD goes anywhere from 1 to 8 persons. After 8, the number doesn't change.
Yeah.
The income level doesn't change. But for a family of 2, for example, very low income would be no more than $80,400. So if you had an older couple, $80,400. Extremely low is $48,200. And if low income for a household of 2 would be $127,650.
Okay, thank you for that.
Sure.
Anyone else have any more comments before William? I take it back to William. We have Councilmember Lynn.
Yeah, I'd like to see how Councilmember Lamb proposal help with tier 3 because it's like 20% off of water, sewer, and $20 off of the water bill. And as I listened to the presentation, temporary hardship, meaning it is temporary, it is within the 6 months. This is where that family is most needed with the help. And the other question I have for you, Renee, how do the community know of this program? How do they apply? And do we know for sure that the numbers that you have right now, that's it, and not, hundreds more out there?
Let me see how I can answer these in order for
I'm
you. So
sorry.
how do people know? I just want to make sure I'm answering them where it makes some sense. So how do people know about the program? What we did when we first started MAP in 2019, because it was new, offering discounts in addition to rec program services, we did inserts in every PG&E Care home bill. Those are homes that are already receiving federal benefits. So that was the most direct way to get information to Milpitas residents who are already receiving some sort of subsidy. We had information put in our water bills as well. We outreach to our email database, which is over 10,000 households in Milpitas. We have information at the Josephine Guerrero Resource Center. So there was quite a bit of community outreach when we first debuted the program and the additional subsidy levels. Since then, we do regular blasts, social services announcements on our social media. We have tables at all of our events. So we try to get the word out there as much as possible. I do think, and probably go over more of this when we come back, what would the marketing plan be if there's a change in the subsidy amount, and what that would look like to make sure that there is information going back out to the public if there is any subsidy change, which would mirror closely to, I think, what we did in 2019. Your other question was, how do we know if we're getting everybody? There's no way to know if we're getting everybody. Each household is different. Do they pay their water bill? Do they own? Do they rent? So there's no way to make sure that we get every single household. I do think if there's changes to the program, that there will be more interest. At 205 households, we may not get everybody, but everybody may not pay their water utilities. It could be a landlord situation, and so they may not be a target audience for this program. But perhaps other subsidies that are available with MAP, like after-school care for children and other things that we offer, they may be interested in that. But we always do our best to make sure residents know what services are available to them.
So we also have the city manager that would like to address your question.
Yeah.
So, no, I have a separate comment on the proposal.
Oh, so sorry about that. Yeah. She has a separate part. You just mentioned that. Okay, so Han Lin, do you have any more? Councilmember Lin?
Yeah, I have one last question. With Councilmember Lamb's proposal, does that fit in with your funding and the budget that you are going to?
So the feedback that we get tonight, different scenarios and proposals, we would need to take back and apply to the real accounts that we have right now. The subsidy scenarios that I presented are based on the average water bill of all MAP customers. So after we receive feedback tonight, we will do a deeper analysis as to each individual account, what tier they're in, and what the actual cost will be with Councilmember Lamb's proposal or any others that the council is interested in us researching and bringing back to you all, in addition to any subsidy increase costs, we will add on the administrative costs that we talked about earlier in the slide deck, so that the total subsidy cost includes the money that we offset for the bills, but also what it costs the city to administer the program. So that's what we would bring back to you all.
Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Is that for purposes of designing the policy, you're staying with the same amount of people that participate, 205. So that's the first question. You're answering that you're interested in a tiered rate. So that was the second question. And then the level of subsidy is where I wanted to make similar comments as Renee made, in that with the flat rate, we are working off of averages, and as Renee presented. And so if there is the desire to give the 50% meter fee and 50% sewer fee, we can't use averages, because for the resident that has a meter fee or a meter fee of $90 or $94, we can't use the 137, because then they get a steeper discount than the 50% that you propose. So I'm going to want to look at the administrative cost, because by having to go, right now, the administrative cost is based on the assumption of a flat fee per resident. And so if we're going into the actual detail at that level, then we're going to have to increase the administrative cost, because it's going to be a lot more analysis. And the same would be for tier 2 in terms of, so if you're saying for tier 1,
We need to have microphones on.
Yeah, can you comment a little bit more
Yeah,
why
sure,
there's
sure,
an
sure,
additional administration cost? For me, once you put in the formula, that's it. It's calculated by the computer. And why would there be any additional administration costs?
So the 40,000 is the programmatic cost right now for the flat rate of providing everybody with 2252, I think is the amount. To the extent that we're having to do some research and going to understand the person's bi-monthly meter fee, which as Renee was saying today, it does deviate between type of homes or perhaps date or things of that sort. That's a separate calculation that needs to be made, because right now the 137 is an average that she provided. If we carry the average to tier 1, then you're giving, and the person's actual meter fee is less than 137, you're giving them a larger subsidy than 50%. So if there's, and so that's the calculus, that requires the detail analysis of this family, this meter, this sewage, right? And let's calculate the 50, instead of what staff is doing now is providing a flat rate. That's analysis, that's going to take more time, it's going to need to be validated so that we're not, if we're staying within these 50, 30, 20%. Right now, you just, if you're eligible and you're meeting the income, you just straight get the 2252. There's no analysis of looking at sewer or meter.
What's the purpose of the analysis?
The purpose of the analysis is if your proposal is a 50% meter fee, and let's say my meter is $100, so that's a $50 rebate or a discount, okay? That needs to be calculated. Let's say the mayor's meter fee is $150, right? Her 50% is $75. Those are two different values, 50 and 75, based on the meter rate. That will need to be calculated by individual, by participant, so that we reach the 50-50 and then the $50. And so that's a very different level of staff work than just slapping the 2252.
I don't think the program is work like that. Maybe we have to.
Can you describe then what you mean by the 50%
Yeah,
meter fee?
50% is regardless of the whether you are $40 meter fee or $37 meter fee or $35 is 50%. So when you enter into a computer, is 50% off the meter fee and 50% of the sewer fee, and I don't think that's an analysis process you need to go through.
Let me ask Renee about the technology and its functionality and what's the
if there's a manual process as you described, there's something wrong with the.
I don't know the technology. I do know that our technology is aged here, and so I wouldn't be surprised.
When you do set up the account and you go and apply the discount, there's two different things that we'll be doing. One is what are the fixed rates and applying those percentages. But instead of just you are approved, here's your letter, take it to finance. So there is a little bit, you do have to go in differently and set those fees up. The other thing that we have to do is the rate of water consumption each bi-monthly bill changes. That fluctuates. So with each bill, we would have to make sure that in the 50-50-50 case, like the tier 1, if they don't use enough HCF, if they use less than $50, then we wouldn't credit them $50.
That's right.
If they only spent 30, right? I'm using round numbers. That'd be a great water bill for anybody. But so that would be something that would need to be checked before the discount is applied, and that would be what would be more manual. Is that we cannot over credit the actual water use every other month.
If I understand correctly, I'm in the technology field all my life. If that has to be done manually, something wrong with our system. Really, something wrong with our system. For us to put in this, I think it's simpler than what you guys described. It's just put in just like spreadsheet. It's so simple, so simple. It's just put in 50% of a fixed price, and $50 off. If it is more than $50, of course you got a value. If it's less than $50, it's a minus value. Then the program would perhaps it will go to zeros. So I couldn't imagine at this age in time, 2025, and we still doesn't have a system simpler than spreadsheet.
I would say we'll take that as input. Let us research the technology that we have and whether
we just spend millions of dollars on a technology, and don't tell me that we have to do manual work. If that is true, something wrong with our system.
Yeah, so the technology was
we spend millions and then could not be better than Excel spreadsheet. Then it's something wrong.
Let me be clear. The technology was for procurement and accounts payable and accounts receivable. It was not for utility billing. That's a separate technology system. And so I don't know the age of that system. I don't know its capabilities. And so you're probably right that it should be able to do it. It doesn't mean that it can. I'd like to take that back and provide that information in terms of what's its capabilities and can it automatically calculate? Because if it can't automatically calculate, then it does require the manual process. I wasn't thinking about the water that fluctuates, which is a more administrative cost. And so we have to cover the administrative cost, and if that's where we're at with our utility billing system, that's where we're at. But I'd like to bring that back to you, and we're hearing your proposal for the tiered system. And so the goal was to hear from council members on the three elements is to, do you want to increase the number of participants? And if so, what's a number? The second is it a flat rate or is it a tiered rate? And then the level of subsidy. And so for purposes of trying to put a policy together, there's no action plan for tonight. It's just hearing from council members about your interest in updating the MAP program for water subsidy.
I feel like this has been going on for too long. Why can't we just put a policy together tonight? What I'm proposing.
You're gonna come back. This is
Mayor,
the
if I
first
may.
hearing.
Oh, yeah. Regarding the policy, I think the suggestion from them is to come back with the actual calculation, and so we can see the numbers. And also, I mean, we're talking about 230 items to input on a spreadsheet. I don't understand why we can do a formula-based spreadsheet and then input the data. But or migrate the data from another system and then just load it to the spreadsheet. Uh, I'm sorry. I agree with the Councilmember Lamb. And also on the proposal, and I compared this with the other system, with the other calculation. The difference is it's actually it's there 165,000. And the question on why 2020 on tier 3, if you look now, there's no participant on tier 3. It's not being used. So those are the.
Hold on, Councilmember Lamb.
So if it's okay with Council Member Lamb, let's wait until they come back, maybe the next meeting if you're able, and look at the actual data and compare it to the other proposals. That's what I'm going for. Thank you.
Yeah, actually, if you go back to the table you just showed us earlier, the slide, which is, yeah, this one. If you look at the first row, at current policy, there's no discount. My proposal is better than no discount.
I'd like to make a comment. So I do agree with Councilmember Chua. If it's okay with you, Councilmember Lamb, come back, and I think that's what the city manager is going to be looking into. What kind of system are we using? And that's that part of what she's going to do in some investigation and come back. Thank you so much. All right. So this was Councilmember Lamb. Oh, we have with Councilmember Lynn.
This is still Renee. So how much time do you think it needs to get him what he wants?
We would not be able to bring it back for December 2nd. The agenda is already being made for that with the Thanksgiving holiday. We would need to, we want to get you the best number about what the actual costs will be with the proposed tier system. And so we do need to go through the accounts and get what that actual number will be. So I think we could endeavor to get it, December, but at least early January. I think we could reasonably come back with those costs and then also an actual policy for you all to review and then approve as well.
So this is just another comment too, and I don't mean to disrespect anybody, but to my colleagues, I hope that we will not think that our staff members cannot do their job or don't know how to do their job or have no technologies that's up to date. As engineers, you work for a big company, a technology company. It's different than running a city. Yes, we spend millions of dollars to upgrade our system, but like city managers, that the system is for procurement, for our accountings and everything, not to sit there to get 3 tiers and work on this. And if you agree to set aside an amount for the admin cost, that would reduce the discounts that's going to the community members. So that's just my comment. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Leon. Now Councilmember Lamb.
Yeah, with multi-million dollars we spend on this what do you call it, Tyler system. I hope it's better than spreadsheet.
The utility billing,
in spreadsheet I can do this in probably less than half an hour.
Allow for me to be very clear.
$multi-million system cannot be better than spreadsheet. There's something wrong.
We have city manager would
Yeah,
like to make a
allow
comment.
for me to be very clear. Tyler is not a utility billing system. Tyler is for procurements, tracking contracts. We do have now a contract database. We did get that, which we didn't have 6 months ago, as well as paying up on those contracts. A utility billing system is a very different system. And so I sit here today saying I do not know the age, I do not know the functionality, and it is a separate system that you're putting into the Tyler system something that utility billing has nothing to do. They do not intersect. And so you're correct. We did spend millions of dollars on it. I don't know what the state of the utility billing system is.
But she's going to look into it.
Yeah. That's why I want to look into it.
She's going to look into it.
And believe me, we have very complex Excel spreadsheets around here. I've seen them.
But I recall that when city manager first came in, she said that our systems are outdated. All the systems are outdated. So we're going to have an investigation then and come back. All right. Okay. Thank you very much for your presentation.
Thank you.
And so now we're almost at the end. It's on 9:30. Okay, so next we'll move on to our announcements and future agenda items. City Manager Santana, do you have any questions, announcements?
No, I don't. Thank you.
Council members, we have Councilmember Chua.
I just want to acknowledge Renee's team for the Milpitas Community Choir. I attended my first session last night, was it? And I had fun. And I want to commend you because that was the goal, to hire the director, hire the pianist, and get ready for a performance at the December tree lighting. And you check all the marks. And the people that were there, they were very happy to be there. There's about 20 of them, and we're still recruiting. You guys can come. So we do practice on Monday. So I was just happy. Thank you so much. Good job. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you for that. You know, she's been trying to recruit me for that, but I just don't have time.
I'm trying to recruit her.
We have Councilmember Leon.
Yes. So this is to our city attorney. I don't know if we can revisit our policy on the way council members vote. If council members don't vote, abstain, I'd like to have that council member give a reason of why they abstain, if there's any conflicts or not. Because I feel that we are here to represent our constituents, and if comes to vote, we keep on abstaining, then what good is it?
So you want her to look into that?
Yes.
So the answer is that if you want to adopt a policy that the council could in its council handbook. So what you're proposing for council prioritization is an update to the council policy handbook to require a statement of a basis for abstention. And that is something that some other bodies have For instance, I think the Plan Commission in its bylaws currently has something like that.
Okay, you said it better, of course. Thank you.
So just like regular for prioritization, you would
Yes.
need a consensus vote.
Yes.
So this is calling for consensus. Councilmember Chua?
I would like to keep it the way it is right now, which is what? City Attorney?
Okay, so that's a no from Councilmember Chua. Councilmember Lamb?
No.
Councilmember Lian?
Well, yes.
Mayor Montano?
You know, I just want to make a comment. We used to have that, and I don't know why it disappeared. When I was in the council, 2012 to 2016, we used to have that policy. It was something that was already there. I don't know why it disappeared. But I am yes. I think it's just right. The public should know why we're abstaining. So it died. All right. Next, anyone else? Councilmember Lamb, did you have your? Okay, so I have a couple. First of all, I would like to have those when the Crown Castle folks, the ones that were anti micro grid or what is it called? The cell microcells. When they came before us, I'd like to have a meeting within the next couple of weeks. A town hall or community forum on that issues, and to have try to get Crown Castle there, and hopefully all the council members will be there, since we are their representatives, and to get all the facts, you know. The other thing is, I'd like staff to research. Do we have to do consensus? Consensus, but we'll do that first.
Councilmember Chua?
Aye.
Councilmember Lamb?
Aye.
Councilmember Lian?
Aye.
Mayor Montano?
Aye. Thank you. The other one is, so, you know, when Super Bowl comes around, we're trying to get more of our restaurants, people to come to our restaurants, and I was thinking maybe we can have staff look into how we can use public funds to advertise restaurants. I did call up VTA Manalo to find out if we can advertise on those VTA bus shelters, because a lot of folks are going to be using the light rail when they're coming on the BART. And if they see our restaurants, they're advertised, they can come to our city. So I'd like the city to look into that, how we can help our restaurants. Or maybe we can encourage them to create a pool so they can all pitch in and buy the ads for the bus shelters or the light rail shelters. Anyway, something like that, a policy like that. The other one, consensus.
For consensus, Councilmember Chua?
Aye.
Councilmember Lamb?
Aye.
Councilmember Lian?
Aye.
Mayor Montano?
Aye. Okay, and the last one.
I wanted to comment on that.
Oh, yeah, please.
So the one-time dollars for Super Bowl and FIFA have been before the council since October. They've been deferred. And as I mentioned last time, to the extent that the deferral of appropriating dollars to invest in Super Bowl and FIFA activities continues, the time is shortened for promoting for Super Bowl. However, we still have an opportunity for FIFA. So I mentioned that at the last time, especially with the Economic Development Director leaving the city.
Yeah.
But it would still be viable for FIFA since there's time apart.
Okay. Well, any little bit helps. That's the way I see it. The other one is having staff look into a friendship city. I know that having a friendship city doesn't require as much as a sister city. So there's been a lot of folks that have asked me to look into a sister city relationship. Friendship. Actually, friendship, sorry. All right. Consensus?
Councilmember Chua?
Aye.
Councilmember Lamb?
Aye.
Councilmember Lian?
Aye.
Mayor Montano?
Aye. Anyone else have any more comments? Councilmember Lamb?
Yeah. I have a question for the staff. For let's say any council member raise a item which takes less than 4 hours for staff to implement, would that item be just implemented by staff, or that item has to be prioritized?
So the answer, the way the city's policies work, is that any council member can propose an item to the city manager. The city manager can decide whether or not to do that. If the city council wants to give direction, then we have our prioritization process towards staff. For the 4 hours of work, that work can be begun without it having to be prioritized by council if it is the majority will of the council to pursue it. And then separately, the item may not be worked on if it has, for instance, budget implication, right? It may take 4 hours of staff work, but it has budget implications. And so there are certain kinds of items which, because of other aspects within the council's authority or some other body's authority, have to go through a different process and couldn't be immediately begun, even if they, city manager's office could incorporate it into an existing work plan.
Well, let me rephrase.
So I guess the simple answer is it depends.
Okay. Now, if there's a majority consensus for a particular item, and that item will be done in less than 4 hours, would that just carry out by the staff, or would that be placed for prioritization?
Not sure if I fully get the hypothetical, but I also want to remind you for the announcement section, it's not necessarily for discussion. So we can't necessarily, I am happy to have a conversation with you on whatever topic or concern that you have, but we can't have a discussion without an agendized item.
I was about to say as well, I can sit down and walk through the council prioritization process policy with you, because a lot of the answers do depend on the circumstance and the specific issue.
Okay.
Thank you, Mayor. Councilmember Lamb, would it be okay if I put an item to review the prioritization process so we can address some of your concerns? Let's review the current one and see where we can improve the current one that we use. The process. Consensus, please.
Councilmember Chua.
Aye.
Councilmember Lam.
Aye.
Councilmember Lian.
Nay.
Mayor Montano.
Aye. Are there any more? There is one more that I do have. You know, and this came up because of the folks that came out here today, that there's, one of them said that there used to be a telecommunications commission. I would like to come back and review the naming of the commissions, because I think one of them right now, the telecommunications right now is named the Science, Technology, you know, I mean, it's just too long. So I'd like to review that, the names, you know, not just that one, but, you know, all of them. You know, I mean, it wouldn't hurt. All right. Consensus? Consent vote.
Councilmember Chua.
Aye.
Councilmember Lam.
Aye.
Councilmember Lian.
Aye.
Mayor Montano.
Aye. Okay, with that, everybody, good night, and this meeting is adjourned.